Hello, everyone. This is another Record Reconstructor episode. This one's with Chris Dyer, and we're going to be playing some Noise versus Palana. This is a matchup that I really knew very little about the Noise deck, and I think it was a really good one. One of the main combos of this deck that we talk about a little bit, but maybe not in as much detail, is the Wild Side and Adjusted Chronotype, which Adjusted Chronotype is often referred to as pancakes given the art on the FFG version of the card. And this two card combo also enabled another deck that I haven't played yet, but we do mention called Dumble Fork, which was just sort of an early Reg Anarch shell that would use this two card combo to just reliably draw through its whole deck quite quickly. I thought these matches were quite fun, and I hope you enjoy them. Chris, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Chris Dyer. I'm Nema Maya on various online forums. I'm a Netrunner player from the UK. I have done some stuff in Netrunner. I've been playing since it came out in 2012.
Well, that hits my first question. My other backup first question is, do you have any, um, for those of you who are maybe not as familiar, do you have any accomplishments you're particularly proud of or feel like people should, this is a chance to show off your credentials a little?
I won Worlds in 2016, and I also got Hyperdriver banned in 2018, and they are roughly of equal weight to me in Netrunner importance.
Uh, well, that's a pretty good resume, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess so. One of the other questions I usually ask is, when you started playing, were you like, I'm going to grind hardcore competitive right away, or did you have an era where you're doing other kind of stuff with Netrun?
Um, I always tend to take card games quite seriously, so I didn't grind hardcore competitive, but I did play like our local area had GNK straight away, and they were pulling 20 people when it came out, and they were fairly competitive GNKs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing tournament netrunner straight away. Um, Back at the start of the game, you couldn't really grind that much just because there wasn't that much sharing. So Netrunner DB wasn't really a thing. You couldn't really find deck lists, so you had to be a bit more kind of solo creative than maybe a kind of true try hard tournament player does now. You couldn't just pull the best list of NRDB. NRDB, you had to scrape them from Board Game Geek. But I, I, I went into Netrunner pretty quickly, deciding I wanted to play events and tournaments.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a little different. A lot of the people I've had on so far have been like, oh, well, for a year or two, I sort of did, fun stuff, and then something happened and I switched over. But it's, here, kind of going in head
Yeah,
first because Netrunner for me was my like first competitive card game. So there was a long
yeah,
period
I
where I
think
was
I
just
think
playing
that's
what I
the
liked.
reason. Yeah, I've played a bunch of card games in my time because I'm slightly old, and tournament card play is the card play that I enjoy the most. So
Yeah.
it didn't take me long to work out. That's what I wanted to do with it.
Cool. Well, so let's talk a little bit about the deck you wanted to show off this evening. So I guess it's a classic deck. What era of Netrunner is this sort of meant to be recreating?
So this particular iteration comes from early 2016, I think, if I've got my history right. But it's Noise, just to get rid of the spoiler. And
Mhm.
Noise was my favorite runner from the start of the game, 2012, all the way through 2016. Uh, and it iterated a bunch. I put it down occasionally to play other broken decks when they came out, like PvP Kate and Dumble Forks. But Noise is the deck I kept going back to. This is fairly late in the history of Noise, so it's after all the really good cards that came out for the deck. So we've got Faust and stuff like that. Um, and it was about the same era that Dumbleforce was around as well. So in some ways, it's similar to the classic Dumbleforce deck. It's got the Wild Side and Adjusted Current type draw package, and it's got Faust to break ice, but it plays quite differently to that. So yeah, I've just checked this list. I think it's April 2016.
Okay, that's the original Genesis list. Yeah, so I guess Devil Fork was Worlds 2016, so a little bit later than this to some degree,
So yeah,
right?
so Dumblefork came out in January 2016. Actually, January 2016. So nobody played Dumblefork at Worlds 2015. It was
Okay.
legal for Worlds 2015, but it hadn't been discovered yet.
See.
And it came out of January 2015. Sorry, January 2016, and then people started playing decks primarily to counter Dumblefork. Um,
Okay.
a lot of those decks, Noise was quite good against as well. So it was if you were playing noise in this era, it was because you didn't want to play Dumble Forks. But
I yeah.
a lot of
I
people love noise.
I realized I was getting double fork and hate bear confused in my head.
Yeah, so many dumb deck names.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, I think you've already kind of highlighted some of the key cards, but you know, sort of just what's the like super high level game plan of this deck?
So noise is a control deck. If you play noise at first, it looks quite simple and quite solitaire, in that you can install a bunch of viruses, throw a bunch of cards in archives, and see what's there. Um, that doesn't work against good players. What noise does is pick a angle of attack and focus on that attack, and then force the corp to respond. So that might be a medium, and then you run R&D. You force the corp to defend R&D. Um, when they've invested some money in R&D, you then pivot and attack somewhere else. So you might put a parasite on their scoring remote, which makes it hard for them to score agendas out the remote. And again, they spend more money to defend that remote. And when they do that, you pivot again and attack somewhere else. Maybe you use Lamprey to pressure HQ. Uh, and in particular, all the time you do that, every time you install a virus that pressures one of those servers, when the corp responds, you can sell it using ESOP to get more money. You've drawn more cards from one side to set up your next attack, and the corp is getting poorer and poorer. And all the time that you're doing this, you're also throwing cards into archives. So you're pressuring, ideally, all four servers kind of in a rotation, just to really keep the corp from ever settling on their own game plan.
Very cool.
And then your late game is the best late game in Netrunner, because you
Yeah.
can break any server with Faust. You've got parasites and data suckers and clone chip to destroy any ice, and you've got medium, which is the best R&D pressure card in the late game.
Yeah, and I guess just for people that are wondering who are maybe newer to the game, do you want to quickly explain why this says there's 3 available influence? Um,
So this would have come out during one of the many MW iterations. I couldn't tell you which number it came under.
yeah.
One of the cards will have been MWL, and I think it was probably Faust.
Do you think?
Can't
I
have
wonder
been.
if it was Parasite maybe because it has. I think it has to be a 3x
Yeah,
card, right?
I
So
think it's Parasite. You're right. Yeah.
yeah,
So this might well be before Faust was added onto the MWL.
yeah. If this is early 2016, that sounds
Yeah.
potentially right. All right. Well, let's enough jawing about, I guess, and we can get into game. Yeah. So I guess maybe as we're getting start, well, after we do the mulligans, maybe in between turns and stuff, I'll have you explain sort of what the court meta looked like at this time.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'll be honest,
Test my
I
memory.
have not played Noise almost at all, and so it's you're gonna have to handhold me a lot here. And so
That's
I'm looking
fine.
at
Don't
this
worry.
hand, and I'm like, maybe this is a keep because it's got cash, but I'm sort of suspecting you might want to find other pieces first.
Yeah, it is a mulligan. So there's 3 cards we're looking for. We're looking for Wildside, we're looking for Aesops, and we're looking for Chronotype. The first 2 are more important because they work by themselves. But any of those would be helpful.
Okay.
So this is a bit better.
Hmm.
The core of noise is you want to install a virus and sell a virus as much as possible once you've got ESOP. So it doesn't matter like really what it does. Um, even if we've installed it and not used it, we're still going to sell it. We've got a bunch of recursion in the deck.
Yeah, it's achieved some value in a
Yeah,
different way, just with the ID ability.
yeah. So this Palana deck is deliberately chosen as the classic matchup for noise. It's very rushy, it's very aggressive, it's got
Okay.
ice that's very annoying, so it should be fairly even.
Okay, cool. So do I just like start drawing here to find pieces
I
and
would,
like with the idea that Data Sucker and Aesops at some point in the turn?
yeah, I would draw one certainly. Okay, that's not helpful. Never mind. Um, we probably so we've got a couple of choices here. Either we can whack down a data sucker and an ESOP. Um, there's ice in the deck we don't really want to face check, but we might have to at some point. Anyway, we can always recur anything we lose. We don't want to lose the ESOP, so we probably want to play data sucker and ESOP.
Okay.
I thought, and then we've got 1 click left to kind of fiddle around with,
Yep.
which we could just draw another card.
Okay. Um,
Lovely.
yeah. So actually, you might have to remind me of, or maybe we can. I can just pull up the Polana list so we can get a quick sense of what that ice might look like.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. There's Lotus Fields wraparounds are very awkward. Eli is very awkward, but that's just taxing ice,
Yeah.
as is the Viper. The ones that the only
Oops.
ones we're really worried about are Cobra and Assassin.
Okay. Yeah, I apparently just pulled up the wrong list twice. So, um, yeah. So Cobra is 4, Assassin is 7.
Yeah,
We sell the Data Sucker here, even though it does have some Parasite synergy. I'm assuming we want
we
we
do.
want.
Yeah, that's fine. There's other
Yeah.
data suckers in the deck. We can get them back.
Yep. So is it just
And then we almost it's draw at the start until we get set up. Yeah.
yeah?
Okay, the Faust is quite useful. Okay, that's good. We can probably install a Faust and a Lamprey, and then next turn we can start being quite aggressive.
Okay, cool.
There is a Swordsman in this list as well, which is obviously problematic for Faust, but it's
Yeah.
not too much of an issue.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So do we sell the
Okay.
Lamprey here?
We do sell the
Yeah, because
Lamprey. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe if they're low on credits, we could use it as a pressure tool, but probably
Yeah.
in this case,
We
no.
can get anything we need to back anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do want to get some of this ice resed because it will let us put parasites on it, but
Hmm.
we don't want to make runs that aren't worth making. So we probably do want to look for some sort of pressure piece.
Okay.
Now, if we don't find one, we might consider deja vuing for a lamprey and a data sucker, but
Okay.
it's probably worth drawing anyway because we still want to see Wildside.
Yeah.
It's half the combo.
Yeah. So I guess the question to me, like, is it worth running server 1 just to put pressure? I forget what the like unadvanced threats are at this point in time in 2016. So like I'm like, oh, it's
So
not Rashida, but
no,
it's
it's nowhere near as bad. So it could be a Jackson, but that's not really a problem.
yeah.
More likely, it's a Caprice or a Batty,
Okay.
and getting it resed is not a bad thing at all. So we could run it just to force the remote res. And like I said, we want to start really pressuring his credits, which means we do want to force him to res ice. So
Okay.
running here is fine.
All right. So is this one of those cases where we just don't bother breaking the Lotus field, or do we
I
want
don't
to
think we
try and
do.
contest?
I think we probably just leave it.
Okay. Um,
It's one of the better face checks. It hasn't cost us anything.
yeah. So then you're thinking something like just play Deja Vu and then install one of Lamprey
I
and.
would run another server at this point
Oh,
because we've
okay.
made him res one ice now. So we probably want to poke R&D. I'd have thought.
Okay. What's the? Yeah, I guess. Oh, well, that's still pretty good for us, I guess, in some senses.
Yeah.
But
So the logic here is that we know we've got HQ pressure cards available to us via Deja Vu. So the server
yeah,
we'd
yeah.
most like to have an unrest ice on and Micro on credits is this HQ server.
Okay.
It's not going to happen this time, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I would probably just install the Grimoire at this point.
Okay.
Leaves us a little bit low on credits, but we should be okay.
Yeah. And then Caprice is being. I guess to me, I'm like, oh, why would you res the Caprice? Oh, you have to res the Caprice now if we decide to ready for
Yeah.
Lotus Field. Yes, right. Man, if only. I have some issues. Sometimes the new Nisei wording is a little bit annoying, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's also it would have made Caprice's wording a lot nicer. Potentially.
Okay, so that's one of the 4-2s in the deck.
Yeah.
It's either Nisei, in which case everything's fine. Albeit the Nisei's annoying, it's not going to cause us a problem. If it's corporate sales team, which is the other one in the deck, it's a lot more annoying because Mike's low credits don't become a problem.
Yeah.
But we'll see which one it is in a second, I think.
Yeah. So I guess the question is,
We do take place here.
do we want to like Deja Vu, click for a credit, install the Lamprey, and run HQ?
I think we'll do that next turn after credits have gone low because he's only got 4 credits.
Okay.
If we draw a card, we'll go to 5 credits. But we could definitely take 2 credits, Deja Vu for these 2 cards and install one.
Okay, and I guess we would probably install the Data Sucker then.
Yeah.
So that we can sell it.
We can think about selling it. Yeah, we might even keep it, but I think we'll probably sell it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it could depend on what gets scored, but considering that it's 2 Lotus Fields that we can never parasite.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the Nisei.
So, yeah, so that's good for us.
So
Yeah.
Uh, I
So I
go ahead.
think we do sell the data sucker.
Okay. Do we still just get the single denial just to make each?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I
So
guess we couldn't even kill the caprice, right?
we can do, yeah. It's on the table. Okay, so that's annoying.
Yep.
We got the credits, so we can probably lose the credits.
Okay. And then at some point in the future, we can
We can parasite this, yeah.
parasite it. Yeah. Yeah. I guess next turn we can do something. Well, yeah. Options.
Intense. Okay. Makes King Caprice a little bit worse.
Yep.
Okay, so Mike now has no credits. We got 2 clicks. We almost certainly want to just take credits with those, I think, because we're just going to want to parasite next turn and then Lamprey 3 times.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is sort of
So
what you mean
Lamprey Lock is, yeah.
by playing a
Lamprey
control
Lock's one of
deck.
the most aggressive things. That's exactly it. It's one of the worst holes you can get into against Noise, because if you get into a Lamprey Lock, it's very, very hard to get out.
Yeah.
If Mike doesn't purge here, then we're just going to Lamprey. We're going to Lamprey next turn. If he does purge, we get a free turn.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're still on the same plan here, I think.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's probably a launch campaign, we would guess, but we don't know. Hooray!
Huzzah. I'm assuming we trash this, even with the interns in hand.
It's interesting. We know he's got an intern, so we know that last card is an interns. There's Caprice already in on the remote, and it's unique. We
Okay.
probably do trash it, but it's a bit sad.
Yeah, we trash it. I think to me, I'm like, oh, I trash it to
Yeah,
make my future HQ access is better, but I'm pretty
yeah,
sad about doing it. Then just take
yeah.
a credit here, or
I think we do take a credit. Yep, yep. We're in a slow phase of the game now.
yeah,
And the other thing about Noise, we're building these cards up in archives. So there's all these face downs which effectively are free accesses.
mm-hmm. Still no selling here, I would assume.
No, that's not right. Yeah, we've just got to keep hold of our money.
Yeah, we just run HQ again, I would assume.
Yeah. There's a high chance it's another pup, but we'll see. Nope.
So probably setting up for a purge in a turn or two.
Yeah.
Or probably this upcoming turn. Oh, I guess we could like draw and then purged.
We can draw a card. We can draw a card, then we can run the HQ again. Actually,
yeah,
just to get rid of his credit again. That's useful.
would have been smarter to maybe draw a little bit early in the turn to think about throwing that down. But
yeah, I think we still would have lampreyed 3 times.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so that does tell you that you're probably looking at a swordsman, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's deliberately gone to 3 credits.
Yeah. So the question is, do you just sell the lamprey preemptively, or just say no? Show me the swordsman.
You make him pay. You make him res the swordsman. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Viper.
So Viper. Okay. Annoying.
Yeah.
So that's going to fire.
Yeah.
But again, he's down to no credits, which is what we want.
Yeah. So do we just take 2 credits here, or do we draw letting him have a credit back? I'm assuming.
I think we can draw here.
Okay.
We're okay now. This remote is annoying, but there we go.
Yeah.
So that's what we really wanted. So we just gain a credit. Yeah.
Yeah. So now next turn we might do something like sell the lamprey so that we can get the
exactly.
bias chronotype engine going.
Exactly right. So like we spoke about right at the start, once he's responded to this threat, we can now get rid of the stuff that we were using to pressure it and try and hit somewhere else. Just credit, yeah.
Yeah.
That really puts our Faust online as well.
Yeah, this is I never, like, in this era, I was playing a little bit, but I was mostly just playing, sort of silly shaper decks. So it's nice to
Yeah,
see with all the people that were having fun we're doing. Um, I would assume Peddler seems like a snap install
yeah,
here.
yeah. We should do. Yeah, we're really looking for a cache for this peddler, but we'll see what we can find.
Well, so much for that.
That's fine. So the worst case of this is that we can install, like the very floor is we'll install a clock for a credit and then sell it for 3 credits, and we'll
Yeah.
also get an access of that. But we'll see. I think we probably want to draw another card as well. We really want to hit a
Yep.
cache at some point.
Probably draw again here. For
Let's have a look. Just looking at R&D and whether we want to pressure R&D, because we've got a couple of spare cards that we could pitch to the
yeah.
run.
Oh, I see. There's something like
We could
taking a
pitch,
credit, running R&D, installing the medium or something.
yeah, and I think that's probably okay because again, it will force Mike to focus on R&D. So we're
Okay.
low on credits, but that's okay.
So gain a credit, run
Yeah,
R&D. Don't need to pre-install it because it's a powerful card.
yeah.
I'm assuming the
It's the
medium.
medium, yeah, because
Yeah.
we got spare. We've got Levy in this deck, so
Yeah.
the medium can come back anyway.
Yeah. Okay. And we've also milled almost 8
A
cards
bunch,
here. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
That's the
unfortunate.
worst.
I had a eternal game the other day where I was playing Spy Cam's Haley and saw that my opponent had a top deck Arc Lockdown and I hadn't played my Levy yet, and so I was just like, and I wasn't really in the state to. I only had like 2 tech traders down, and I was like, maybe I can just run on R&D and hope that they play out that they have a Jackson somewhere, and I was able to get the bluff out. But oh, there's the cash. That's great.
Okay, yeah. We probably don't want to sell this medium. This medium is too high value.
Yeah.
This remote is already looking very awkward though.
Yeah. So is it something like I'm thinking like take a credit, get the money off of cash, and then like
Yeah,
do we run archives? Do we run the Jackson Howard? Um,
we may as well on archives. The potential CVS in the deck, but the chance of actually having seen it is quite low.
okay. I'm just gonna take all the credits first.
Yeah, it's fine.
Um, yeah.
A shocking twist.
Shocking twist. And then like I'm sort of tempted to go for the R&D dig here.
I think that's fine. So Mike's next turn is locked in as scoring this agenda pretty much.
Yeah.
So this R&D again is almost like a free access. You can pitch the imp and the wild side fairly safely.
Yeah. Man, Faust, what a card.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All you need is a 2-card 6-cost engine that draws you 2 for free every turn.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we don't trash this.
No, that can stay. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. Good to know where that is.
Yeah. So we will try, if we can, to targeted mill that swordsman.
Okay, so it's 1 down from the top here.
Yeah.
We'll sell the cash, so we're... I guess another option would be we could install Imp, run R&D again after like a draw or something.
So I would want to it's going down to 2 cards there. How long do we think this game's got left? So at some point we have to decide if we want to use this levy or not. My
Yeah.
guess is we don't need levy this game because the game's going to be too quick.
Mm-hmm.
So we could install Imp, install Parasite on the
Viper?
on the Viper, and then run R&D
Okay.
because that gets rid of the hedge fund. It gets rid of the swordsman,
Yep.
which may get interns, but we'll see. and now we can run R&D, and they're both new cards. We're all on new cards.
Yeah. And we have an imp to deal with some
Any
things
particularly
potentially.
problematic card, yeah.
All right, so we're just gonna say goodbye to the levy because the game is moving quickly enough. Yeah.
Which is quite common with this Palana deck. It's quite an aggressive deck.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Probably do want to trash baddie, I would think.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
All right. Do we
We're
just
almost certainly drawing at this point.
Okay. Oh, well, that's a pretty good draw.
Yeah.
I guess worst case we could, if the game somehow goes long enough, our last deja vu, or is this?
Yeah, we can do.
Yeah, you can.
There's all three deja vus. Yeah.
Too high value.
Oof.
Yeah, I guess with 2 credits, we can bid 0 a couple times if we can draw enough cards. But
we're going to give them credit from our wild side. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uncontrollably so.
I'm gonna sell the imp.
Sell this imp, yeah. Okay, let's have a look. It's on 4 credits.
Yeah.
And we've already given the credit. I think we almost certainly do want to draw. We probably want to get this data sucker down.
Okay.
Okay. These peddlers might be able just to go. So if we play a data sucker, we can run R&D again. Builds up a bunch more stuff. We can't run archives now again until the end of the game, basically because of the CVS.
Okay.
But I think we can. I don't think we need these peddlers at this point.
Okay, you would say that over like drawing once to see if we find a slightly less valuable card, or?
Yeah, you're right. Drawing once is good because we're not going to do anything with the other clicks, so it's fine.
Yeah,
that's even better.
Yeah. Now we just save ourselves a peddler.
Yeah. We're kind of falling into one classic noise trap, which is focusing on R&D a bit too much, but the value is pretty good here for other reasons as well.
Yeah, because I guess we can. This is indirectly allowing us to pivot to HQ as well.
That's right. Yeah, which potentially puts Lamprey back on the table again.
Yeah.
I'm sad. Swordsman, no.
No, we dealt with that one already.
Oh, that's annoying. Looked like a Jackson.
It did look like a Jackson. Oh, though we can actually go and just hit that swordsman immediately with like the lamprey install that we would already want to do.
We can do, yeah.
This parasite ticks every turn, which is a very nice feature. That's the wraparound.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been nice to have a peddler down. I mean, both of those ice are rough for us, so.
They are, yeah. Not too bad.
Do we sell the medium here, or?
I don't think we do. I think it's more valuable with the clicks on it.
Okay.
Sorry, the counters on it.
Yeah. Oh, I guess now we don't even need to deja vu for the lamprey. We can just slam this one.
We can do, yeah.
Does that seem like the play? I'm not sure.
I think it is. I think it is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
We can data sucker this to death.
Yeah.
Because then we can almost certainly sell this data sucker next turn if we really want to. Same interns. That's interesting.
Oh, so maybe it's a different ice.
It's almost certainly the swordsman.
I think we just milled the swordsman, but I'm not 100%.
I don't know what he would have installed instead of a wraparound. All the ice in this deck is annoying. It might just be an Eli.
Literally everything is annoying.
Yeah. This Palana deck was built by Laurie Poulter and was it was it's designed to be good against Faust decks, which means all the ice is high strength for multiple subs.
Hmm.
But the fact it hit Dumblefork also means you hit this as well.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
so that's two Nisseys, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
This remote is basically unbreakable now.
Yeah. So are we still on the denial of credits on HQ plan, or at this point is that sort of out the window?
So it's going to be difficult just because of the weight of credits he's got coming in. He's getting two from
Yeah.
the launch campaign and one from his ID ability, which means that he's credit neutral effectively from free lampreys.
Yeah.
Um, we could sell a lamprey. Seems a bit rich to sell it though.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you would sell the data sucker
I would sell
first.
the data sucker. Yeah, yeah,
We do need some econ here. Oh, I guess technically we could have made that choice after drawing the sieve, but
yeah. You
it's
can do.
fine.
Yeah. So what
Um,
we can do almost forces a purge. And we've got to work out if a purge is right. So there's an option to deja vu another lamprey and have two lampreys installed.
okay, so do something like, would you do like Lamprey Parasite, Lamprey Cash, or like Lamprey Imp? Like, which of those?
It's awkward because what we've got to think about if we do that, he definitely would purge next turn, and then we lose our medium as well, which we probably don't want.
Hmm.
We've got two cards spare. I quite like drawing once and then running R&D here again
Okay.
because I would like him to run this ice. Sorry, rest this ice.
Yep.
Also, because I want to know what it is.
Hopefully it's not the swordsman that we didn't miscount, but
Yeah,
okay, crick. Um, we probably
weird.
can't let that fire because CVS install is pretty brutal for us.
CVS install is bad. Also, there's a ice in there that we don't want to put on HQ.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do want to break that.
Goodbye, Clot.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Faust.
yeah.
And do we just keep going, trashing like the
So,
peddler and
yeah, the peddler and the imp are fine to go here.
yeah. A lot of clicks for Faust.
Yeah, you do.
I'm assuming we don't trash this at this point.
I would trash it just
Okay.
because it's one of our ways to win the game.
Okay, got it.
Apart from fun. At this point, two kicks after, I'd deja vu for something, probably a data sucker at this point,
Okay.
and a cache,
Yeah.
and then we can install the cache.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because in the future turn the data sucker will be really nice for
Yeah,
cuts a card out of our hands. So
that's right. Yeah, so if you deja vu, quite often you want to pick a card for next turn, a card for this turn.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So the other one you were thinking about was maybe doing double lamprey. To
Yeah,
just force the purge, but drain 4 credits this turn.
yeah. You drain 4 credits this turn, forces the purge, but then we are in trouble after that. This is a shame.
Okay, so we just have to kind of try and get some mills and go for the win
Yeah.
here.
So that the reason to do the HQ run was in case he had something in HQ, but it
Yeah,
didn't look like he did. Okay.
it clicks. Inject seems handy here.
It is, though there are a lot of programs in this deck. So
Oh
this
yeah,
so one of the balancing things is this inject is in the deck so that you can hit the Aesops and the wild sides early,
got it.
um,
And
which
then
we're
yeah,
not going
there's
to do
so
now.
many programs left that
Yeah, yeah. So the deck has 22 programs. Okay, so things we need to
11.
worry about. These two Nisei counters are now going to stop us getting R&D accesses, sadly.
Yeah. So then do we just like we have to be able to run any server we're gonna run 3 times. So I feel like it's just like install data sucker
Install Data Sucker is definitely worth it, yeah.
and then it's like we have to if we're gonna check archives, we have to be able to spend 3 clicks on it, right?
We do. All these cards on R&D are new. None of
Yeah.
them are old ones. So Mike will almost certainly almost certainly Nisei the first R&D run, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way we could do anything about this remote.
Yeah.
These Lotus fields have really caused us a problem. So I think we probably do run R&D, but it's almost certainly doomed to fail.
Okay. Yeah. So we just spend all of our cards going for R&D and then run
Yeah,
archives twice
yeah,
and
yeah,
pray.
yeah.
Yeah. Double Lotus Field was definitely a little.
It's the best dice in the deck against Noise by a long way. It
Yeah.
wasn't anywhere near as good against Wizard because Wizard would just spoon it. But Noise,
Mm,
you don't have any spoons. You can't parasite it, which means you can really only break it a limited number of times.
yeah. All
Yeah,
right. So now we just run archives.
yeah.
Oof.
Good sign.
All right. Well, I think we're just gonna concede here.
Yep, seems good.
So the only agents we milled got Jackson. It seems like.
Seems likely, yeah. Arguably, what we should take from that game is that Mike cycled a lot of these for his hand, and maybe we should have run HQ a bit more with an imp or something.
Yeah.
We probably did tunnel vision a bit on R&D. That's
Mm-hmm.
like I said, that's a very easy mistake to make with Noise because medium is so compelling.
Yeah. For sure. Cool. Well, yeah. I don't know. It's relatively late for you, so if you want to call it there, or if you want to try and do one more, I'm happy to do either way. So
I can do one more if Mike is free to do one more.
let's ask. Cool. This is a fun deck. I might have to try some Eternal Noise, even though I
Yeah,
probably will not quite be good enough. But
it went. There are so many different versions. This one is playing. This one is very aggressive at trying to find the starting pieces. So you
Mhm.
play Levy and you play all the draw cards you can play in Anarch at the time, apart from worse. Oh, what a strange hand.
Yeah, this feels like not. It's a weird one because you have shop, which you really want, but then nothing else.
We've got nothing to mulligan. We've got nothing to sell to it either. I would
Yeah.
mulligan this. That's much worse.
Well, I take it we're going to be spending our first turns drawing here, unless.
Yeah, yeah. Sadly so.
Um,
Against Palana, you really want a pattern of drawing and turns and then not drawing if you can manage it, but it's quite difficult.
yeah, and especially at some point, it's just drawing every turn for you
Yeah,
anyway. Oh, okay, that helps a little.
it helps a lot. Yeah,
Do we just do something
I,
like, I
I,
guess, draw
I would still.
again?
I'd draw again, yeah, because we're going to install 2 cards after that.
Yeah, and then just this and like the clot, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine.
Mill and gain a credit.
Yeah, it's like clicking for a credit.
Like looking for a credit, but you get an access as well.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
Not sure why he would have iced archives, but that's fine. It might mean he's drawn a crick. Is the most likely answer.
Ah, that probably makes sense. Okay. Just keep drawing again, I think, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Sweet Peller's great.
Yep.
We have Grimoire, Inject, Inject.
So a big Grimoire at some point, but we don't need it yet.
Yep. I'm thinking just like draw, install, Imp, maybe?
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Oh.
Or install Wildside. So we're going to have one awkward turn next turn where we're low on credits, but
Yeah.
after that, the game should sort itself out.
Yep. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll hit one of the 3 caches this time
Yeah.
in the top half of our deck. Okay.
Okay, so we're just going to. I think we're just going to take 3 credits and install the. Yeah, I'm sure we are.
And then we just ditch the other wild side.
Just the Wildside, yeah.
Shame that we didn't really hit any of our key pieces on the peddler, but
Yeah, a useful piece would have been nice. Parasites are in particular great on peddlers, but this is okay.
yeah, parasite seems like the key, the prime hit, really. Unfortunately, Mike's having a pretty slow draw here.
Yeah, it's not been good.
So ours is
God. Okay, so I think we're almost certainly going to take a credit and install this imp.
okay. I'm thinking maybe is it just like take.
Well, we might run this. We might run this remote server.
Just to make it rest, yeah.
Yeah,
It's hard to get
we've got
threatened.
we've got all these parasites, and there's nothing really bad that can happen to us.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we're long pre-Nazi here. Yep, that can fire.
Yeah,
Then we just take a credit here, ditch the Grimoire, I would imagine.
yeah,
Or
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, I guess the other option would be to like run HQ here.
Mike's got so many credits; it's almost not worth it. But I think when the corp has this many credits, our plan is just to make sure this remote doesn't work. So we're going to just be quite aggressive at parasiting his his remote ice.
Okay.
Weird. It's almost certainly a caprice that we milled.
Okay. But we might do something like, do we sell this imp, I'm assuming?
We do sell this imp, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking we probably want the Grimoire out, like install the Parasite on Eli,
Yep.
and then probably continue to take credits.
Yeah, there's credit. We might credit Clot potentially.
Okay. Yeah, I think if we credit Clot, we can't install the Grimoire and the Parasite this turn.
So we can because the Grimoire's 2 credits. The Clot is 2 credits. The Parasite's 2 credits.
Okay, yep. Counting to 4, who knew?
Yeah. Clot with its precious virus counter.
Yep. Hey, well, for a long time, apparently, so according to FFG, I guess, or something, you couldn't purge.
Yeah.
It was just Clot for some reason with no
That's
virus
right.
counter.
If you had Grimoire, it meant that you were legally allowed to purchase Clot. Yeah,
So
this makes sense because Mike is almost certainly in turns to Caprice back in. Mr. Jackson has to go to Cyclone Agenda through.
yeah.
Oof.
Is this like an install Lamprey, hit HQ?
Yes, agreed. Yep. Because if we get in, then great. If we don't get in, we'll just sell it to Aesop.
Yeah.
So
We
another
don't
Eli.
Yeah, I think we bounce off that.
We don't click it. Yeah. But I think we will parasite it.
Yeah. And then just take a credit.
Yeah.
Man, one day we'll draw a cash and it'll be
Yeah, I know.
It'll be amazing.
Everything else at the start of this game was okay after the first couple of turns, but lack of cash.
Imagine this box, yeah.
Okay, that's the
Almost
annoying
as
one.
good. We'll take our draw first, I guess.
Yeah, you can always take the draw first. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess this would be the case where this may be relevant because we could potentially like. But I don't think
but we can always deja vu it back. So I think we definitely do sell the Lamprey.
Yeah.
And then we can play we can get a day sucker anyway. We can run R&D for a laugh as well.
Okay. Try and get some adjacent pressure. I guess it also opens up the ability to pressure HQ, but we're going to get bounced here, I would assume. Oh, I guess not.
Just look if you want to take the net down. We probably no, we'll probably pay for it, I guess.
Okay.
May as well rush it.
Yeah. Do we just run HQ now because it's?
Yeah, we do exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now open.
Yeah, that's good.
So we might just like sell that data sucker and then
We will, because we've got another one.
yeah.
So unless there's a very good reason you want to sell something every turn. Hey, would you want to cash?
Yeah, so I feel like we want to run HQ here just so that we can get a parasite on it as well.
Yeah, so the ordering is important here. So we want to you want to have something that makes him res this ice. So he might not for a single access, but we've got a data sucker. He almost certainly will do. So we
Okay.
probably want to install or data sucker or lamprey. Either's fine actually. We
Yep.
probably want to install the cash first anyway, just because it gives you some more options. It's the one
Okay.
card we don't want to lose.
And now something like the lamprey or the data sucker.
Yeah, I would
I,
install the data sucker just because I think it's more flexible at this point.
yeah, I think if our plan is to recur a parasite, I feel like having the
Yeah.
extra counter might be nice. Okay. We lose a click, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Viper's a fun little. It's
Yeah,
Enigma, but with in a more roundabout fashion.
it's
Enigma's a
sneaky great in this deck.
yeah.
But I think these Vipers started life as an Enigma and then got cut for Viper just because the strength bonus is so relevant.
We're actually in a pretty decent spot to blow up both centrals here.
Yeah, yeah. This is the problem we've got, but if this isn't an agenda, we're okay.
No, I guess that could be the 1-3-2 in the list.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it could be. Okay. So do you want a Faust? That's good.
Yeah.
We almost certainly do want a Deja Vu here, though.
Yeah, for the double. Are you thinking one parasite to hit both
I
centrals,
think
or
it's
like?
I think it's two parasites. Given we know we've got the cash, we've got two caches left in the deck.
Okay.
I would take both parasites.
Then install one on each central and.
I would put one on the pup for sure.
Okay.
Is it worth putting one on the other one? Yeah, it must be. It must be worth putting one on the Viper as well while it's raised.
Do we just look in? No, we don't want to install the lamprey. I would assume.
No, I just poke R&D.
Yeah. Got cards we can afford to lose. Oh.
That's okay. We have one mimic in this deck, just for reference, somewhere.
So I don't think we have anything we want to sell this turn.
I don't know. I don't want to sell anything this turn. It's fine.
So the question is like, do we install the lamprey and then run HQ a couple of times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
There we
That's
go.
good.
I mean, there's one in the remote, but I feel like you still trash this anyway.
I would still trash it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because there are some situations where a double caprice effectively can lock you out of the game entirely.
Yeah.
And they just res the second one.
Okay. So, do we sell the data sucker here just to have some econ, or I guess we can wait till we draw first.
Yeah. Okay, we are going to sell something because we want to install some stuff.
Okay.
I think we probably want to sell the lamprey. I don't think we
okay.
can
Yeah, I guess we're not getting them down from 14.
do enough about his econ. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we might as well install this peddler and see what we get.
Okay, sucker, medium, street peddler.
Street peddler. Okay, that's quite good. Would it be nice to get away through this swordsman?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll admit to being
I
a
guess
little
this.
lost here, but
Well, so the interesting thing is this swordsman is only going to do 1 net damage to us. So I think we could probably run R&D and get him to rest the swordsman here.
okay, and we can throw down the medium if we.
We can install the medium if he lets us through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just let it fire. We just let the
Yeah.
net damage fire. It's
Now we
fine.
can throw down the medium.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so we really want to get rid of that lotus field. So we probably want to pop down the peddler. Oh, sorry, it was an inject. Peddler would have been lovely.
Yeah.
I think we've only got a few. We've only got 1 credit. Awkward.
Yeah. There's
That
no way to
lotus
get a
field
virus, right?
might just stick, which would be
Yeah.
annoying. But I think it's probably okay. Just working out if we want to take another access on R&D.
Yeah. I think we still have
Still 2 deja vus.
two deja vus, so losing the
Yeah.
levy isn't terrible.
Yeah. I think I'll probably take the access.
Yeah.
Fine, I spare David.
I guess we still trash this.
Yeah, it's the last one.
All right. And all the pings right now, jeez.
Yeah.
Do we just take a credit? Or do we just go again and try and... We'll see 3 new cards?
We'll see 3 new cards. I would just go again, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Lotus Field's going to end up there. I'm going to be pretty sad.
Yeah. It's fine. Got quite lucky on the pings, but... Okay.
Yeah.
So the other thing is we've got a bunch of face downs and archives that we can challenge at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, and that might be a crick, so...
We can
also
David.
got lots of... Yeah, we also just have lots of sucker counters, too.
We do have a lot of sucker tokens. Yeah, that's true. We also know there's no Jacksons coming up.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah,
too.
that's good. So we know there's no more than one in HQ. I don't think there's any HQs. I think Mike would have just installed it.
Yeah.
We are low on credits, which is kind of annoying.
I guess we could think about selling the medium, though I don't think so.
We could do, yeah. We probably will sell this medium, I think, just because we know there's not much coming up in R&D. We can't get into R&D without selling it.
Oh.
Ooh.
So that I feel like now maybe we don't.
Yeah, agreed. So there's that suggests there's a CVS.
Yeah.
Oh, drawn on Mimic. How exciting.
So yeah, do we have any sells we want to do here?
I think it means we can sell the Data Sucker.
Okay. Now so it's just like install the Mimic, take a credit, make a run, probably get purged.
Yeah, that would make sense. The other option is to install David and run archives.
Okay. Just to try
which I
and
think is
force.
better because it will force a shuffle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
And assuming this is quick, we can always sell this David if we don't want to. We don't need it afterwards.
Yeah. Amazing that we've gone through 2 games where the 2 caches are like in the
Yeah,
bottom 10. Oh, interesting.
means it is a crick.
So now do we just run R&D?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just take a net damage.
Yeah. And then probably still get purged, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do we just keep going though?
Okay.
Or are we
We
starting
can.
to lose enough cards that we care?
We're okay, but we don't want to lose this Faust. We've got a Dave. We've got this to sell. Because if we lose this Faust, we know Lotus Field is still around somewhere.
That's true. So probably more like taking a credit then.
Yeah. Could just. I wonder about running HQ, but it feels like a waste. I would
Yeah.
just take a credit. I think we don't. Yeah, just take a credit.
Okay.
We're going to want to
Yeah.
install something, and if we draw a cash, we can now we can store the cash without selling the David.
Yeah.
Presumably, this is going on. This Viper will go on R&D. Yeah.
Oh, is that the other Jackson? That's unfortunate. I guess they would have had both.
It isn't. It
Oh no,
isn't.
actually, that
Yeah.
might be the pad campaign or the launch
The
campaign.
launch
Whatever.
campaign. Yeah.
All right. Do we sell anything with this draw? Like, do we still sell the David, or do we leave that?
I would leave it just because we've got the cash.
Yeah. And then it's something like click one, install cache.
Yeah. I would run server 2 just to make sure it's not a Jackson.
Okay.
Server, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's in our heart. It's server 2.
Yeah.
Okay. We're fine to let them have that, I think.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's all right.
I don't think we want to spend
No,
credits on that.
it's fine. I think we want to parasite this swordsman.
Okay. Not the Viper that we think is there.
We can't really get the Viper without running it, and then we can't. If we run it, we're just going to hit this Viper. But if we get the swordsman, then we can Faust our way through the Viper.
Got it. So then, do we just like take a credit or maybe draw a card?
We'd probably draw a card because we want Faust fuel. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oof. I was wondering if it was going to be the Philotic, but we still have one Deja Vu if we need it.
Yeah.
And we still kept the Faust magically.
We did keep the Faust. So.
Oh, and then sell.
Yeah. Interesting situation.
Yes. I mean, we could hit R&D C2 because these cards aren't that amazing.
I would.
But we could also think about drawing. Yeah.
I'd draw a couple first, certainly, and then see where we get to. Useful. Because we can run R&D last click and just think about paying the trace.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
Okay. Then we can Faust next turn. Yeah, so I'd take a credit and run R&D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah.
And then this is pay 3 into that.
I will. Yeah, I agree.
And yeah,
Hey,
there's a pretty high density at that point. So.
Yeah, there is, yeah, and that's exactly what this. one of the side effects of noise, because the Jacksons are forced to shuffle agendas back in rather than good stuff. R&D does get super dense at the end, and that's why your end game is so good.
A lot of sense. Cool. Well, thanks so much, Chris. This has been a lot of fun. Um,
It's been a blast.
thanks for doing this. I might hit you up for other decks. I know you've been playing a long time. I'm sure have a lot of decks you would love to relive.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've got a list.
do you have any shout outs or stuff you want to throw in at the end here?
Well, big thanks to Mike for playing against us, and also for all the testing and stuff that he and the rest of the process gang do. They're also a lot of the reason I'm still engaged with Netrunner, so big thanks to them. And then all the people who I was testing with at the time with this noise deck. So that's Laurie Poulter, Alex White, Tim Fowler, Theo Clifford. Um, they were the brains behind a lot of the decks that I were playing, and put a lot more effort than I did into those decks.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you again so much, and thanks to Mike. And I think that's gonna be a wrap. So
Been a pleasure.
thanks.